Hello, I'm Wayward. The game is Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath, Community Patch 1.03. Our players, taking a look at the bottom left, as our plain... No, I'm sorry. I was going to say plain old GDI, but they're actually the Steel Talons is DuneTiger. And to the other side of the map, as our teal-blue Scrin, is CharlesWarmonk. Both players, of course, getting out their initial engineering type unit to capture their initial Tiberium spike, and selling off the barracks, going for a fairly standard refinery build for DuneTiger, and Warmonk at this point doing basically the same thing. Sneaking some rifleman squads up along the north sides of the map. Of course, I almost forgot to say the name of the map. This is our old favorite, the good old standby tournament Odyssey. Interestingly enough, CharlesWarmonk has yet to sell off his portal, doing the standard warp sphere and extractor biz there. Looks like we have a buzzer swarm coming out to do some scouting and what have you. Meanwhile, we have those harvesters, and then there's that second refinery. So, fairly standard for both players so far. Of course, we've got those Tiberium spikes just ticking away, doing what they do. It's been a really long time since I've interacted with Kane's Wrath. I'm really glad to be back at one of my favorite games, Command & Conquer 3. And Warmonk and DuneTiger, both players I enjoy watching. Looks like he's got to depower that portal to kind of keep things trucking along smoothly for his economy. Decent number of harvesters out at this point. So doing it pretty well there and expanding, and it looks like DuneTiger basically has the same timing on his expansion, slightly behind potentially. Also good harvester count here. We have the command post coming up for DuneTiger. Let's see what we have going on for Warmonk. There's that extractor. This is a fairly sedate-paced game. We just have some scouting going on, both players keeping tabs on what their opponents are up to. Interesting tech there from DuneTiger, going for that fast airfield. Not something I see particularly often. We also have some pit bulls, and there's our first Hammerhead. Pit bulls doing some light harass, actually getting a harvester, and they're no, not quite there with that secret. Oh, Wayward. You are mangling your speech. The Seekers are doing okay. We've lost one at the moment. Buzzer Hive coming out and just being sold immediately. First Hammerhead there with just a Rifleman squad. No, nothing in it yet, sorry. Gotta pay more attention. We have some descents coming out to deal with those pit bulls. That makes sense to me. Hammerhead being pulled back, Seekers for the Hammerhead, the descents for the pit bull, of course. Bunch of orcas as well, trying to be sneaky, going for, of course, that harvester harass is what I'm assuming. Potentially going for a Tiberium spike, but we'll have to see. Descents being murdered by that Hammerhead, which does actually get away. Another descent squad that's pathing down is being picked off as well, so nicely done there by DuneTiger. Frontal assault with the descents and the Seekers. Seekers pulling back away from the missile squads. Waiting for the orcas to do something. They haven't done anything yet that I've seen, but I'm really good at missing stuff, so... the attack from our Scrin player seems to have turned into a big nothing at this point. Yeah, I don't think anything substantial was lost. Seeker's still trying to find an opening, but the missile squads are telling them no thanks at the moment. Interesting, we have another command post. It looks like the original one got sold. Titans now on the field for DuneTiger. Those Seekers run into them. Mass Harvester move there for DuneTiger. His main field's pretty well harvested out. He's just got the one there on maintenance harvesting. Orca's coming out again, but let's see what... We do have the Nerve Center, and we have some Stormriders coming out for Warmonk. Actually, a ton of Stormriders, it looks like. We've got the double gravity stabilizer right now. Double portal also for Warmonk. That's interesting. Going for Ravagers. I love this unit. Really glad to see it out, actually. Orca's failing to focus on anything in particular. They do take out one and now two Harvesters, so good for them. But the Stormriders are coming back with a vengeance, taking out a lot of the Orcas, possibly going to get all of them. This is a large number of Stormriders. Warmonk doing exactly what I love to see Scrin do. I love to see the air, I love to see the Ravagers. The Ravagers actually doing a really good job out here. So not so great against the Titans, but they are picking apart those missile squads. Titans coming out to smack some Harvesters in the face. Quite a large number of them, actually. Meanwhile, we have a counterattack here by the Stormriders. The Lightning Spike doing a little bit of assistance there, but a lot of AA coming out. We've got slingshots, we've got AA batteries, just a lot of stuff here to protect that investment. This attack seems to have gone fairly well. There's actually a lot fewer Harvesters than there were a moment ago. Another one picked off. I think he's lost half his Harvesters. Meanwhile, a tech switch to Tier 3 with Annihilator tripods coming out. So love to see that tech switching going on, of course, from our... I think we had the Adaptive Armor go down over there. So we'll have to see what Warmonk does. Warmonk is trying to expand to DuneTiger's natural third. DuneTiger, meanwhile, looks like he's attempting to basically do the same thing himself, moving this MCV over. We have another airfield as well. Mass sell-off, it looks like, for DuneTiger. Getting ready to come over. We have tech there on that tech center, I think. Really need to learn some of this stuff better, I guess. So I do apologize. We have a bit of a fight going for that high ground spot. It looks like our Scrin player for now is going to hold on to that. There's not a lot that can be done about these tripods being picked off by the Orcas. Except now we have the AA turret, the plasma missile battery there to help keep things in check. Yeah, we'll have to see what DuneTiger does. It may be that he wants to go contest this Tiberium field. We do have Mammoths out. Okay, so we do have the Adaptive Armor upgrade research, so I think that's what that was from the Tech Center. That must be the Adaptive Armor. Let's see... Just kind of repositioning that plasma missile battery, I suppose. So let's see. We do still have a war factory, still producing stuff. And yeah, the MCV looks like DuneTiger is just pulling back and accepting that he's going to have to pick this Tib field. Although sneaky Mr. Warmonk has already picked out some of the Tiberium from it, so he continues to do so. Yeah, so at the moment, bit of trouble for DuneTiger. He's got a pretty limited army right now. Not a lot to his name at the moment. I see these attacks. Oh, you know what? It might just be units being attacked by, being damaged by Tiberium. We do have some additional sell-offs going on, it looks like, for... Oh, we got the Mechapede coming out. Getting filled up there. Nice to see that. But yeah, it looks like Warmonk has teched out of air. That wasn't working out for him. lost all those Stormriders. No sense continuing to mess around with that. The Mechapede was unfortunately scouted by this Rifleman squad. That's the advantage of scouting, folks. Lightning Spike coming down to be annoying, but I think it's going to be okay. Mechapede getting killed by the Orcas. What a huge investment. Completely wiped out by those Orcas, so well played, DuneTiger. DuneTiger already saturating this. We've got a little backup there with the harvesters on that Tiberium refinery. We've got a couple more Adaptive Armor Mammoths, and the railgun has been researched. Got these slingshots that aren't going to be doing too much, honestly. Scouting what's going on up here. So, oh, actually, we do have some air over here as well. And the signal transmitter, very interesting. So, we've got the, basically, what's that, Tier 4 coming out from Warmonk. That's just more scouting from Mr. DuneTiger. DuneTiger making a pretty big commitment, and that is scouted. But yeah, these 4 mammoths coming up to try to make something happen. Let's see what Warmonk does in response. There's that first planetary assault carrier. It's going to make the Orca's day a little worse, I think. Another, oh man, no, he did not take out of air. He's recommitting to it now. Meanwhile, we have mammoths coming up here to deal some damage, but everything's just being sold off. And a counter push down here from Warmonk with only a couple of tripods. We have a bunch of infantry backing it up. It looks like at the same time DuneTiger is actually that did not get sold. It was killed, so the command post did not get recouped. But yeah, this is pretty bad. This is a getting to be a late game Scrin army. We got the force fields. We've got the planetary assault carrier. It's gonna be tough for DuneTiger to take this on. So the mammoths do attack air, and we do have the slingshots, which might help. Got more Titans coming out for now. But yeah, both players just lost a good piece of their tech, but we still have that signal transmitter and continuing to pump out PACs. So we do have a lot of units up here. There's PAC ships being picked off, the PAC coming under fire. Got some poking going on. Warmonk waffling a little bit. That Annihilator Tripod's shield goes down and takes some pot shots. Yeah, if Warmonk loses any of these PACs, it's going to be pretty bad for him. They're terribly expensive units, and just got some additional cleanup going on over here. Both players more or less confined to their third. We do have some regrowing Tiberium here elsewhere on the map that may help in the long run. Right now, it looks like, actually, it's interesting. We have a combat support airfield, so we've got a lot of air coming out from DuneTiger, and we also have a tech center up again for him. Right now, interesting, we have the stasis chamber out. I guess he has done some high-tech infantry and potentially wants to do so again. Meanwhile, Warmonk continuing to look for a good angle on this. What are we up to? 5 PACs now? A goodly number, and the Stormriders out to back them up as well. So really frightening army there from the Scrin player. DuneTiger mixing in behemoths, which is not terrible. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be in DuneTiger's shoes right now, running out of resources, not harvesting anywhere else on the map. It's funny, the slingshots are actually kind of paying for themselves, but yeah, this could really go either way. I feel like at this point Warmonk is kind of in the better spot. We do have the Plasma Storm, Ion Storm coming out. The behemoths might help provoke Warmonk into poking in, but no, he is too cool a cucumber for that at this point. DuneTiger pushing out, trying to take back one of these other regrowing fields. We'll have to see what happens with that. Doing this kind of on the DL, protecting his MCV, pushing out while defending on this side. This is a pretty good spot for him to be in, but he's got to worry about overcommitting to slingshots. I guess it's a pretty predominantly Air Force at this point still. We do have an extractor coming out over here. This extractor still looks like nothing's going on with it, but looks like a Titan was misrallied or something. Firehawks, I think that was nope, those are actual Firehawks. So I think this is kind of mind games going on a little bit. Ion Storm coming back up for the Scrin army. I love seeing air Scrin, so this makes me very happy to see. At the same time, I'm really interested to see what Mr. DuneTiger is going to do. It looks like he manages to set up this base, actually, which is good for him and good for us because that makes the match longer. It looks like it might have been scouted, or actually that's potentially just Tiberium damage. I think that was a sell-off. We have more of those PAC ships just being taken out, but that's okay because they'll rebuild them, of course. More PACs joining the army, so yeah, Warmonk is really committing to air, and we'll have to see what the slingshots have to say about that. That's another harvester bug alert from Warmonk. Bit of a shame. We have missile troopers mixed in as well. Of course, that's good against pretty much everything the Scrin is fielding at the moment. Behemoth's out of position. Two of them immediately getting evaporated. The PAC ships are really merciless there. We do have the husks still, so there's potential he can rebuild them. But yeah, a lot of kind of mixed AA coming in here. The Mammoths do a little bit of AA. We've got the slingshots there ready in case the battle is joined. But again, Warmonk being a cool cucumber, not getting ahead of himself, not overextending. DuneTiger potentially wants to try to push this, it looks like. Continuing to pull forward, forcing Warmonk back. Oh, an EMP seems to have gone down, but looks like the phase, I think that's called the phase field, phase shift. You should know this, Wayward. Going down to protect those tripods from an untimely death. Firehawks coming in, taking out a PAC and teleporting away. One of them was taken out, but I think that's a pretty good trade there for cost efficiency. Looks like potentially one of those behemoth husks was reclaimed or killed. Did not see it, of course, because why would I be that? Why would I pay that much attention? No, I'm doing my best, people. I really enjoy this game, and despite my lack of skill and knowledge, I hope that these casts are enjoyable. Another harvester bug for poor... anyway, it looks like Mr. Warmonk is moving out his drone ship to take a third, almost completely regrown Tiberium field on the back of this, what would you call it, a soft contain? These Titans dying for basically no reason. Support power being called in. I think Warmonk manages to get most of his army out in time. Good split there. Shock troopers, I love this. I love seeing all these units being used. Shock troopers come in, killing a bunch, helping to kill a bunch of buildings with the tripods and PACs. So really nasty attack there. Pretty punishing for DuneTiger. He's okay for now, but not where he wants to be yet. So the drone ship is not yet landed. It looks like Warmonk was a little distracted. We do have repair drone support power coming up there. DuneTiger coming in and getting another PAC. Those PAC numbers are getting pretty low. But we do have shock troopers coming out of this portal, and potentially really bad for DuneTiger, who is trying to come contest this third field, Warmonk has expanded over to it. So the shock troopers are coming in. Their mobility is really helping them against these behemoths. This was a tech switch that DuneTiger was not ready for. Zone troopers coming out. It does not look like they're super good against the shock troopers. Hammerhead's coming in to finish them off, but they teleport away. We'll have to see how that works out. It looks like the shock troopers do not get the better of that one. Warmonk still has some air units, and he's using them to be annoying. Meanwhile, we have another force, this one with a lot of tripods, and the shock troopers backing things up. Shock troopers are pretty good, it looks like, against the mammoths, and the mammoths are not great against the shock troopers. And this is not ideal, again, for our GDI player. The orcas are helping a little bit with the PAC coming in to clean up the orcas. Warmonk surgically taking apart this base carefully, piece by piece. The slingshots are going to get this PAC, but the damage has been done. Poor DuneTiger has very little anything left. And Warmonk is really all over the map. We do have a decent mammoth army here, but Warmonk has a lot of stuff right now, and it's looking pretty grim for Mr. DuneTiger. He does actually still have a con yard, but yeah, things are looking pretty grim for our GDI player right now. Warmonk getting more PACs out. Actually are still some slingshots as well, so this is a pretty formidable army, and he's going to be able to clear this out, but I wonder if that's going to really help in the long run, because this base has already been harvested, mostly by Warmonk. That adaptive armor was helping at least a little bit. This base is being picked apart by the Scrin forces, tripods, and Stormriders, and here comes a PAC, so this is not going to help Mr. DuneTiger. I think this may be the last gasp for our... I didn't see that this was captured. Yeah, really tough spot for DuneTiger. He's got a decent-sized army, but literally nothing else. There's just a handful of buildings up here, all being run off one single captured extractor. We have a refinery coming out, so he's going to try to make something happen. Hammerhead's being caught out by the Stormriders. That's brutal. In to try to help, but the Hammerhead's all taken out. Yeah, Warmonk is actively mining over here. Actively mining over here. There's a ton of shock troopers. I love that tech switch, by the way. This was not touched at all, was it? There was no harassment done over here, no real damage to this base once it got set up. I think DuneTiger can hold this off, but he's got a surveyor out. Nice. But yeah, it's going to be really tough for DuneTiger to have even a chance, even a slim chance of pulling this out. Oh no. Warmonk, you absolute brutal maniac. He is moving up north to take this field as well, meaning he's going to be harvesting off of 4 of the map's 6 fields. One of the Firehawks goes down, the other 3 manage to escape. I love seeing the Shock Trooper usage. It's delightful, but I feel really bad for our GDI player who is really in a bad way. Wolverines. I'm interested to see if these end up being a good counter to the Shock Troopers. Looks like that is potentially a good response based on how fast that squad died. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is feeling pretty over to me. I would love to be able to fast forward through this, but of course don't have that ability. Poor Wolverines trying to do their thing out of position. These Shock Troopers are up north. Even then with the unit ranges, I'm not sure it would have mattered that much. The Wolverines are helping for sure, but not enough. The Shock Troopers are mowing, absolutely mowing down these mammoths. And the mammoths are all that exist to stop these tripods in the first place. So this is feeling like this might be the end for DuneTiger, and there he goes. He sells all his stuff, and must be one building hiding somewhere. I think that might have been the last building, that power plant. No? Yes? No? Not sure. Oh, there we go. There we go. DuneTiger has been defeated. So yeah, kind of saw this one coming a little bit. Pretty long, action-packed game. I was worried that we'd have some dull moments as players kind of sat back and built up, but no, it was pretty fun the whole way through. Let's take a look at these tabs again real quick. DuneTiger with a decent army count. This is army count, so doesn't really tell you the whole tale. This looks pretty bleak for DuneTiger, of course. But yeah, this is the real story, right? Once DuneTiger's economy starts falling behind, Warmonk just continues to cement that lead. But yeah, really interesting match. I kind of came into this thinking that Warmonk might pull this out. He's kind of the 1.03 like guy as far as I know. But yeah, I thought that was quite enjoyable, and it's actually been a while since I've cast a Scrin match, which is why I decided to go this one instead of another one. Finding really good replays for this has been difficult lately, and I know people don't like seeing tournament games from me, but going from Command Post, the 1v1 stuff has kind of been trickling in. So anyway, if anyone has 1v1s and you want to see me cast one, I'll give it a shot. Clearly I'm anywhere near the caliber of someone like Cybert or anybody, but hopefully it's enjoyable anyway. Anyway, I'm Wayward, and this has been Command & Conquer 3: Kane's Wrath. Thanks for watching.